With a packed lineup of restaurants clustered along Universal Orlando's bustling CityWalk, deciding where you want to eat is key, especially when vacation time and budgets are limited. With factors like menus, theming, atmosphere and live entertainment to weigh up, you may need a helping hand to decide where your money and appetite are best spent. Hi, I'm the Frugal Brit, and in this video, I'll be counting down the top 10 table service restaurants at Universal Orlando CityWalk. The ranking is decided by online reviews. I've merged the ratings from TripAdvisor, Yelp, and Google reviews to make it as objective as possible. Without further ado, let's dig in. Kicking off the countdown at number 10 is the Antojitos Mexican restaurant, located on the east side of the CityWalk map. It stands out with its colourful exterior designed to resemble a Mexican cathedral. Inside, the interior mixes traditional Mexican elements with an urban twist. The space is lively, with a mix of open seating, intimate birdcage booths, and dramatic design choices that set it apart from a typical Mexican cantina. Supporting the atmosphere is a performance stage, which offers live music on most nights. Additionally, there's a second floor with extra seating overlooking the stage. Antojitos specialises in Mexican street fare, all freshly made from scratch. The menu covers everything from classic tacos and enchiladas to appetizers like empanadas and tamales, as well as hearty house specialities. Expect to pay an average of around $21 per entree before tax, which is the middle of the price range in CityWalk. There's a few standout items. A guest favourite is the tableside guacamole, freshly prepared and customised right at your table. Other popular dishes include the empanadas, the enchiladas verde, and the pork tacos. The complimentary chips and salsa get a lot of praise as well. And if you're a fan of tequila, both bars feature an extensive selection to explore. Reasons to pick Antojitos: it frequently earns praise for its lively atmosphere, colourful decor combined with live music. The tableside guacamole show gets a lot of praise in terms of taste and spectacle. However, guacamole aside, Antojitos does receive somewhat inconsistent reviews when it comes to food quality and authenticity. It is a polarising restaurant among Universal fans. Personally, I've always enjoyed my visits and never left disappointed, but worth noting that experiences here do seem to vary. Coming in at number 9, according to online reviewers, is NBC Sports Grill Brew, a short walk from the Universal Globe. It's one of the hard-to-miss locations, thanks to its massive 120-foot wide stadium screen towering above the entrance. Inside, you'll find a modern sports bar atmosphere with a spacious, industrial-style design. Front and centre is a circular open kitchen surrounded by TVs airing live sports. Upstairs, you'll find another bar stocked with a huge variety of draft beers. When it comes to the menu, expect a broad selection of American pub-style favourites. Popular picks include the large, warm, soft pretzel, the smokehouse stack burger, the combo smokehouse platter for meat lovers, and the fire-grilled wings. A big part of the appeal is the sports bar energy. Beer lovers appreciate the vast selection. With the food, tons of options. Unlikely you won't find something you're into. With entrees averaging around $20, it's one of the better value spots if you're looking for a full sit-down meal. On the flip side, a lively sports bar won't suit everyone. During peak times, service can get overwhelmed. While the food is crowd-pleasing, it's not the most interesting menu. Also, I was quite surprised by how much the portion sizes appear to have shrunk. In 8th spot, we have Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, located on the eastern side of the map, near the bridge that takes you to Islands of Adventure. Bright colours give the outside of Margaritaville a breezy Caribbean feel. Guests enter via the porch of indecision, an expansive outdoor patio where guests can dine in the shade and enjoy live music. Inside, the tropical dream continues, with the whole space dedicated to Jimmy Buffett's laid-back music and story. Island-themed decor is scattered throughout. There's even a giant airplane hanging overhead. At the centre of it all is a stage where live bands perform Buffett-inspired tunes, while music videos play on a huge sail screen whenever the band's not around. Keep an eye out on the main bar, built into a playful volcano that erupts margarita lava into a giant blender whenever the signature volcano song comes on. As for the food, expect island-inspired American fare, classic dishes dressed up with tropical twists. The highlights include the massive volcano nachos, which are perfect for sharing, the iconic cheeseburger in paradise, and the crispy coconut shrimp. True to its name, Margaritaville is also celebrated for its margaritas and other fruity festive cocktails. Many diners love Margaritaville for the overall atmosphere. There's something special about tucking into those huge nachos, sipping a cold cocktail, and soaking in CityWalk's energy on the porch of indecision. Among all the places at CityWalk, it's possibly the best spot to put you in vacation mode. Not everyone walks away impressed though. A common gripe is that the entrees can feel underwhelming for the price. I've personally found it to be great if I'm just after apps and drinks, but always been a bit underwhelmed when I've ventured into a full meal. Noise can also be an issue for some. Between the live music, bustling crowd and erupting bar, not exactly the best place for mellow conversation. Coming in at number 7 is Bigfire, positioned in the heart of CityWalk on the main hub, not far from Margaritaville. The restaurant is themed to a lakeside lodge and aims to evoke memories of summer nights spent around a campfire. At the centre is the open concept kitchen and its signature wood fire grill, where you can see the flames at work on each dish. Bigfire specialises in refined American classics, big emphasis on open flame cooking. I believe different types of wood are used in the grill to infuse a distinct smoky flavour into a variety of items, from steaks and burgers to other barbecue-inspired options. Among the top picks here are the robust bison burger, the sizable cowboy ribeye. For dessert, one unique treat is the tableside s'mores, complete with mini grill. Those that give Bigfire high marks often mention its comfortable laid-back ambience. Many agree that the open fire cooking adds a distinct smoky taste. It gets the most recommendations for those looking for a steak at Universal outside the hotels. On the flip side, it won't be the most exciting menu if you're not that into grilled meats. There's also been scattered reports of uneven cooking, though not from personal experience. Keep in mind, Bigfire is among the priciest options at Universal, with the entrees averaging at $33, making it the most expensive restaurant in CityWalk by a big margin. This is largely due to the number of steaks on the menu, but prices overall are still on the higher side. Arriving in 6th place is the Toothsome Chocolate Emporium and Savory Feast Kitchen. You'll find it to the south of CityWalk's lagoon, right beside the entrance to Islands of Adventure. Toothsome is one of the most visually striking buildings at Universal, styled like a steampunk-era chocolate factory. The steampunk vibe continues inside, with Victorian-era industrial decor, complete with exposed gears, pipes, and screens that reinforce the fictional factory storyline. Part of the charm comes from the backstory of inventor Penelope Thibault Tinker Toothsome and her trusty robot companion Jack, who can be found wandering the dining room to greet guests. Moving on to the menu, Toothsome offers a lot more than just sweets. The menu is expansive, comparable in variety to what you'd find at a cheesecake factory. Most items lean toward modern American fare, though you'll spot creative uses of chocolate in certain entrees. Favourites include the chocolate almond bread served with salted caramel butter, the pork belly sliders topped with chocolate-dipped bacon, and the tender braised short rib. The quiche also gets a lot of recommendations. However, no visit here is complete without delving into the real showstopper, which is the dessert menu. Toothsome is most famous for its insanely over-the-top milkshakes, often crowned with entire slices of cake, brownies or cookies. If this is all you're interested in and you don't want to sit down for a meal, there's a dedicated counter for takeaways. Reasons to pick Toothsome: the steampunk aesthetic is widely praised, some of the best theming you'll find at Universal. Many appreciate the enormous menu, which can satisfy a range of tastes, from those craving classic comfort food to those in search of more adventurous flavours. Guests enjoy the character interactions, and of course, the Instagram-worthy desserts are a big talking point. Reasons not to pick Toothsome: it's CityWalk's most in-demand restaurant. Waits for a table can be very long, and snagging a reservation can be tricky. Some people accuse Toothsome of focusing a bit too much on showy presentation rather than standout flavour. Entrees cost about $23, which is slightly above the mid-range mark for CityWalk, and that doesn't factor in the cost of the expensive milkshakes. Coming in at 5th spot on the countdown is the Pat O'Brien's Bar restaurant, which you'll find sitting at the top of the map on CityWalk's nightlife curve, modelled after the famous original bar in Bourbon Street. Inside, the vibe draws from the French Quarter with a few distinct sections. There's the main bar on your left as you walk in, then there's the open-air courtyard round the back, highlighted by a dramatic flaming fountain. There's another bar and some live music on the weekends. Lastly, there's the piano lounge, where two pianists face off on baby grand pianos and take requests throughout the night. Whilst most people come for the drinks and upbeat energy, the food menu deserves some attention, inspired by Louisiana favourites. The entrees average around $19, so one of the cheaper options. Cajun and Creole staples like jambalaya, shrimp gumbo, and crawfish etouffee typically earn the highest praise. Dessert lovers will want to try the bag of beignets. Do also have to mention Pat O'Brien's trademark Hurricane cocktail, a sweet but potent rum punch that originated at the first bar. Fans often highlight the party-like feel and talented piano players who make the night come alive. The signature drinks and Louisiana flavours only add to the appeal. The food is more than acceptable, but don't expect the most refined or fiercely authentic Cajun cuisine you've ever had. Something to be aware of: there have been instances where the venue cancels reservations on short notice for private events that sometimes pop up on the nightlife curve. And number 4 on the list is the Cowfish Sushi Burger Bar, found near the entrance to CityWalk's main hub. Its curved facade with tall windows sit between Red Oven Pizza Bakery and Vivo. Once inside, guests are led up a staircase to reach the tables. At the top, the restaurant's playful decor merges Japanese and American pop culture references. One standout is the giant fishbowl display, complete with a sushi-themed burger. With 3 floors available, there's plenty of seating for this popular restaurant, including an outdoor bar and patio. The menu offers a fusion of American and Japanese cuisines, combining gourmet burgers and fresh sushi with a signature category called burgushi, creative mashups of burgers and sushi rolled into one. A fan favourite is the Fusion Specialty Bento Box, which includes a mini cheeseburger, a half sushi roll, edamame and sweet potato fries. The crab rangoon dip gets tons of recommendations. From the burgushi side, the Taste Explosion roll stands out, while burger fans rave about the jalapeno popper showstopper. And for dessert, the hand-spun milkshakes are strongly recommended. So why is Cowfish ranked this highly? Guests appreciate the originality, even if you're not into sushi. The burger options alone are worth the visit, many saying they're the best at Universal. There's a fun energy to the restaurant, and there's some great views from the windows. On the downside, service is notoriously slow at times. I'd be prepared to wait longer than usual for orders to be taken and drinks to be refilled. Claiming the number 3 spot is Bob Marley, a tribute to freedom. You'll find it tucked away along the nightlife curve, right next to Pat O'Brien's. The building itself is fashioned on Bob Marley's home from Kingston, Jamaica, and there's a bronze statue of the reggae legend, guitar in hand. Stepping inside, the layout mirrors Bob Marley's actual house, complete with an open-air veranda and a central courtyard that merges seamlessly with the indoor dining space. The walls celebrate Bob's life and music through vintage photos, murals and personal memorabilia. On many nights, you can catch live music on the courtyard stage or a DJ spinning reggae tunes. Unsurprisingly, the lineup of dishes leans heavily into Jamaican and broader Caribbean favourites and a tropical-leaning cocktail list. Among the most talked about menu items are the Taste of Jamaica appetizer platter, the oxtail stew, and the reggae Jamaican jerk chicken. Plenty of CityWalk venues are praised for their atmosphere in this ranking, but this one stands out as the most distinctive. The live band sets it apart from many other spots. Music fans will appreciate the thoughtful nods to Marley's life. Reasons not to pick Bob Marley's: if you're not into Jamaican music and culture, this won't be an ideal match. Again, service can struggle on jack-packed weekends. A common critique, which I do kind of agree with, is that the spice level has been toned down to cater to tourists, which will disappoint those expecting the real Jamaican heat. I would suggest they offer a spicy variant of their jerk chicken. Last thing, average entree is $21. Some will feel that's a bit on the pricier side for this food, but the live music may justify this. Coming in at number 2, according to online reviews, is the Hard Rock Cafe, which you'll find on the park side of the Central Lagoon, in between the 2 parks and next to Toothsome. The building dominates the skyline thanks to its elaborate exterior modelled after a Roman Colosseum, with towering arches and pillars, reminding visitors that it's the largest Hard Rock Cafe in the world. Inside, the restaurant feels like an immersive shrine to rock music, proudly housing the biggest collection of memorabilia of any hard rock in the world, with legendary instruments, costumes and other artefacts adorning every available surface. Above the central bar, there's a slowly revolving full-size pink Cadillac. Hard Rock cafes are well known around the globe. Most of you will likely be familiar with the menu, which offers a vast selection of classic American comfort food favourites in generous portions. Signature items include the original legendary burger, the tender baby back ribs, and their famous fajitas. Those that rate Hard Rock Cafe appreciate the upbeat energy and incredible collection of memorabilia. In terms of food, the hearty burgers and sandwiches consistently receive high marks, and the large portion sizes make it a great place to fuel up. One of the reasons it scores so highly with online reviews is the consistently friendly and efficient service. On the flip side, the average entree is $24, which again may feel steep to some diners, especially considering the cuisine doesn't venture far beyond standard, though well-executed American fare. Taking the top spot, but tied with another restaurant that I'll reveal shortly, is Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. I do want to repeat, this is ranked by online reviews, not my order. If you're arriving from CityWalk's main security checkpoint, you'll find it on the left on the entrance bridge, near the Welcome to Universal sign. Out front, you've got the famous Forrest Gump running shoes, a fun photo op for anyone who loves the movie. The interior leans heavily into the film's roots, with the dining space doubling as a restaurant and a tribute to Forrest Gump. The walls are densely packed with memorabilia, from costume sketches and props to signed photos and stills. Seafood is the focus of the menu, especially shrimp served in multiple styles, but also extends to American comfort food with a southern twist. Among the big hits are the Shrimper's Net Catch appetizer, Shrimper's Heaven, which is a shrimp sampler's feast, an occasion-inspired shrimp New Orleans. A big part of Bubba Gump's appeal lies in the interactive touches. The famous Run Forrest Run and Stop Forrest Stop service signs on each table let you signal to your server if you need anything, and servers will keep the experience lively by quizzing you on Forrest Gump trivia when taking your order. Reasons to pick Bubba Gumps: the environment brims with nostalgia, and it caters to both seafood aficionados as well as picky eaters. Portions tend to be generous, so it's easy to share appetizers or entrees. On the flip side, foodies who crave top-tier seafood may find Bubba Gump underwhelming, especially given the average entree price of around $27, which is very much on the higher end for CityWalk. The quality is comparable to other seafood chains, but at a higher cost. But the majority of guests come away very satisfied, hence its #1 spot. I've noticed it's a big hit with my fellow Brits, but less so with those closer to the source. Tied for the best rated spot on CityWalk according to online reviews is Vivo Italian Kitchen, which sits on the main hub next to Cowfish, as we've already seen. Outside, you'll notice an inviting outdoor patio. Inside, you're greeted by a sleek, contemporary space, warm lighting, modern decor. One of the first things that'll grab your attention is the open kitchen, which extends across a large portion of the restaurant. The interior is designed to reinforce the restaurant's focus on fresh ingredients. You'll spot vintage pasta rollers and jars filled with pasta and grains on display, the classiest looking restaurant in CityWalk. Vivo specialises in authentic Italian cooking, with the familiar nod to a modern twist. You'll find classic antipasti, salads, house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas. The pasta is made fresh daily, something the staff are proud to showcase. And to start your meal, a basket of freshly baked Italian bread arrives at the table complimentary. Among the most frequently recommended dishes are the lasagna bolognese, the braised short rib, and the squid ink seafood pasta, infused with squid ink and piled with shrimp, clams, mussels and calamari. Reasons to pick Vivo: guests generally love the authentic flavours. The quality stands out, with even seasoned Italian food lovers leaving impressed. Many appreciate the step up in sophistication compared to the alternatives at CityWalk. The average entree is $25, so better value than you'd expect given the elevated experience. Whilst negative feedback is rare, some note that the open kitchen and hard surfaces can make it noisier than expected for an upscale restaurant. It is the classiest choice in CityWalk, but that vibe may not be the most suitable for a theme park crowd. Lastly, the restaurant's good reputation, of course, means that tables are harder to come by. So that's the full countdown. Thanks for watching. I hope it narrowed down your options for your next visit to CityWalk. I do need to give shout-outs to Red Oven Pizza Bakery and Bread Box, which are quick-service restaurants, so couldn't make the ranking. If you're headed to Universal Orlando anytime soon, be sure to check out the other guides on the channel and subscribe to be notified of future ones.